Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for SpiegelMom Scraps to share with you the July sketch challenge. This is the sketch, lots and lots of circles, and this is my interpretation of the sketch that was created using Photo Play Red, White, and Blue from the scrap room. So if you use this sequence and you go shopping, and you can use the code Suzanna with a Z 15 to save 15% off over at the SpiegelMom Scrap store, and you can use that on anything. So here's the sketch, and All American is the sequence mix that I used for this particular layout. And I pre-printed my pictures and determined the size of those pictures kind of based on the direction that the people and or subjects were going. This picture of my son holding his passport, I knew that I wanted him on the right-hand side of the page so that he was looking into the layout. My daughter is looking straight on at the camera, so she is a full picture, and then the passport picture I could cut off because that worked for the alignment of these pictures. So in a previous video, I talked to you about one of the design principles, which is the visual triangle. And the visual triangle in this particular layout is created by those three pictures. It is very unusual for me to use a circular shaped picture, but it worked perfectly with the kind of the wreath that is created by having the circles on the outside of this layout. So I used a mix of pattern papers as well as the cardstock. The cardstock that comes in the kit is this ivory, so that is my base, and then I am using a few of the pattern papers as well as a digital cut file that I got from the Silhouette store to create shapes and circles. Some of them are perfect circles and some of them are asymmetric circles that are going around the outer border of this layout, just as the sketch calls for. And just as the sketch calls for sequins, I am going to use sequins as my continuation of circles to add a little bit of sparkle to the layout here. So here I have some dies from Little B. They are circles, and there's also an inner circle that will give you circles within the circle. The circles run around the outer edges. So I'm going to use a few of these dies to cut the pattern paper, both fronts and backs, so A sides and B sides of the pattern paper, to just fill in the circles that are in the sketch. I didn't go exactly to the sketch with the size of the circles. The circles are more to give you the idea of, yeah, put lots of circles around the outer edge, and otherwise go with the size circles that work with A, the photos that you choose, B, the elements that you choose, and so on and so forth. So I probably have a few more circles than the sketch calls for, and that's okay because I wanted to combine pattern papers, cardstock, and stickers. I wanted a balance of the red, the blue, and the white-ish elements, as well as a balance with the elements that had cutouts in them, like the digital die cuts. And so I kind of waited how those things were going to go. And retrospectively, looking at the layout, you can see the asterisks that I used in the title in that sticker USA, that is the center of the asymmetrical circles with the asterisks in them. They're all kind of clustered to the top right-hand side of the photo, which was completely unintentional. Normally, I would try and space those out and again kind of help them move with the visual triangle. But because the pictures are so predominant amongst those circles, I didn't need the dominance of other things to help move that visual circle. I did want to try and incorporate a few non-circular elements into the layout, and so you can see that sticker that I stuck back onto the sticker sheet. I do end up incorporating into the layout. It's just nice to have a little bit of that linear movement as well, and that works really well with the asterisks as well as the circles with the plaid and the die cut circles with the stripes in them. And I liked the play with the asterisks and the stars and then the stripes on the stars and stripes. So the theme of this layout, the pictures and the passport, I wanted to use this patriotic paper, not for 4th of July. I've already scrapped last year's 4th of July pictures, and this layout was actually created before the 4th of July. So I wanted to use this for something other than the 4th of July and Independence Day and fireworks. And so I actually use this, I'm tripping over my words. Sorry there. I wanted to use this patriotic paper to document my kids both receiving their passports. I am not originally an American citizen, so being an American citizen and having that freedom to travel and come and go as you please, for the most part, was a big deal to me. And we had put off renewing their passports forever and ever, which kind of kept us bound to staying within the U.S. for vacations. And finally, with Michael in town and the stars aligning correctly, we were able to get them their passports, and we are able to travel overseas once again. Not that we're going far, but we have that ability and we have that freedom to do that. So this is another example of me showing you how to use what is clearly very much a 4th of July collection, can be used for something other than just the 4th of July, because I used it here to document how they are American born and have passports and the freedom to travel. So that is the bulk of the layout according to the sketch, other than the sequence. So now I'm going to use the SpiegelMom Scraps mix that's called All American. It's a more recent release, and I'm just going to sprinkle them in to put a little bit of sparkle to the layout, and also to fill maybe a few of the holes that are in the layout. Not that they're actually visual holes, but they are nice punctuations to those photos. You can see how I've clustered them to the photos to move with that visual triangle there. So I'm just going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive to adhere those down, and then I will finish the title using some stickers that are from my stash. I have a fairly extensive Jelly Bean letter sticker collection, and those are a big go-to for me when I don't know what to do. And so I knew I wanted to do USA. I thought about doing Citizen. I thought about doing Born in the USA, but USA Born encapsulated the topic of this layout and the kids getting their passports. And then as the sketch called for, it had a nice area for that whole actually center of the layout for journaling so that I could tell the story. I've really tried to put a lot more emphasis on the story in my layouts lately. And because it's 12 by 12 and I don't have a 12 by 12 printer and or typewriter, I did type my journaling directly onto vellum, and then I adhered the vellum using some scrapbook adhesive by 3L to adhere that to the center of the page. So I'm just trimming off the outer edges of these circles. I like that the circles aren't fully complete and that you can see them kind of running off the edge of the page there. That's perfect because your eye finishes that off. So here's some close-ups. I would love for you to join us in the sketch challenge this month. Just upload over on 15 Minutes to Scrap with SpiegelMom Scraps. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're doing well. Take care.